targeting me because of my gender. What does me being a woman have to do with my skill level in video games? That article also talked about a man that took a controller away from a female, and said no, and started explaining like the basics of the game, like she didn't understand the basics of the game when she was an actual game developer on the game, which was like really, which was turned out an utter twist of irony. Again, that was an example of behavior that wasn't corrected in the moment. And then an example, and then somebody also taking information out of context, like, because men do that shit to each other. Fuck, I've been guilty of doing that. I've wanted to take the controller out of someone's hands when I've seen them suck at a game. I want to do that to Gabby all the time. It's not because she's a woman. It's because she sucks at the game. She doesn't know what the fuck she's doing. She's driving into a car pole or this and that. And when I see AOC ramming around in whatever game he's playing, I'm like, I wanted to take the car. He posted a let's play of his COD action, and I wasn't there. I wanted to take the controller out of his hand because he sucked at playing the game. I was like, dude, you suck. My friend Chris does the same thing to me when we play you guys have seen me do a dual cast with Chris when we bring the couch in here and we're both casting, doing Modern Warfare nights. I suck at games too. Yeah, I do. I'm sure you guys have wanted to pull the controller out of my hands too. I'm sure you've wanted to. Chris is trying to take the remote out of my hands, and I've taken the remote out of his hands, and it's happened. It happens. And that is an argument, like, again, that's an example of argument that was written in an article. Like, this is an example of sexism in video games. That was something that was grossly taken out of context, and I think, like, that man would have done it to another man if the man was sucking at the game. I don't think it was exclusive because she was a female. So, the podcast is still going. I have to take a quick 5-minute break, you guys. Like, we've been going hard for 7 hours. It's almost an 8-hour, this is like a full shift right here. So we're going to take some lobby breaks. So let's all go to lobby.
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat. Delicious things to eat. The popcorn can't be beat. The sparkling drinks are just dandy. The chocolate bars and the candies. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat. So let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
Go get some snacks. Perhaps a carbonated soda. I hope they have ices. I've chosen the large tub.
My nipples look like milk duds.
I've got some yellow liquid for your popcorn. And it's non-dairy.
Okay. So we have. Thank you for everybody who's still here. Thank you for keeping with the program, the podcast program. I appreciate your support. Just wanted to give you guys a quick shout out and say thank you so much for your help and supporting this cast. I have to take a time out here, and this is going to help me kind of recollect my thoughts. I just want to say to any of you who decided to stop in here, this speaks to your character, okay? Because some of you are my friends. Some of you might be here just to support me because you're my friend, and you want me to succeed, and I appreciate that. And I appreciate that for different reasons. For those of you who don't know me very well, that may have just recently followed, or been maybe followed for a while, or they haven't been active in the community for whatever reason, or you're new, or you're a stranger. I just want to say thank you for coming in, because this speaks to your character and wanting to become educated and think about issues critically, and gain some kind of insight, or share your own personal insight in the hopes that we can come together and finding common ground and find a way to work together on these issues together. As human beings, not as a man and not as a woman, but as human beings coming together, appreciating each other and respecting each other's opinions, and working towards a better tomorrow. I know that's hokey. I know that's very it sounds like, what do you call it, speaker notes or whatever, but it's not. This is straight from me. This is straight from the heart. I appreciate you guys for what you do, and I just wanted to let you know, everybody who's in here, who's dropped the follow or just come to tune in to listen, I just wanted to let you know that I acknowledge, what you're doing here. Because there's a whole mess of people, like I said, who aren't interested in this, and they think this topic's boring. I don't want to talk about sexism in the media. That sounds like a stupid topic. Or someone might look at me and think like, oh, this is a typical man hating on female in the media. Or, oh, they might have heard, some dude might have heard it and heard my initial reaction towards section 1 of the podcast and said, oh, he just like Captain. No, he asked legitimately, are you just supporting feminist views? And like, no, I'm not. No, I just have to present the information critically that they're stating. I'm not saying I refute it or accept or don't accept it. In fact, I accepted some of it, and then I later on go on to refute a lot of it. But I wanted to say a quick shout out to all of the viewers and all the community members and all the people that are here making this happen right now. I just wanted to say thank you and cheers to you. Unfortunately, I don't have a blue drink. I just have water, but that'll have to suffice. I'm glad you do this. We don't do podcasts all the time. In fact, I wish I could do it more. As you can tell, we've been podcasting for almost 8 hours straight. It requires an extensive amount of work on my part as a full-time college student, as a fucked up individual, and for trying to... thank you so much for that follow. And for trying to just survive and be my own person. I don't always have time to do podcasts, but I was really inspired by this topic a couple of weeks ago, and I've had some conversations with people in the community and people I care about, and it's really made me want to tackle this issue and get to the meat of it. And some of the stuff keeps coming up, as you've seen, like in the media, and I'm getting really sick and tired of it. And I was hoping it's not tap water. No, it's actually filtered. We have the Brita filter. I don't mind tap water if it's good tap water. Knock, thanks for that follow, man. Appreciate it, dude. Welcome, both of you guys, to the Masquerade. I hope you enjoy your stay. So what do we got here? We just covered with the armored the armored skeptic. What was he talking about when we last talked? 1 second, Mr. Mass. As automation continues to take more and more jobs, with robotics and AI continuing to improve, what's your opinion on the effects of the global economy? Knock, that really has nothing to do with sexism in the media. And I think we've already gotten off topic on several conversations, so I'm not going to actually answer that question. Not out of disrespect for you, just merely because it's 1 a.m. in the morning, and I would actually like to finish the podcast, and I keep getting distracted. That's a conversation to have another time. If you want to have that conversation, you should join the Discord server and come and chat with us and hang out with me there and ask me there when I'm not streaming some other time, and we can discuss it then. But that isn't a well thought out question. So we talked about half-truths and why they're damaging and why they can be really effective at getting people. Why half-truths are so effective at getting people riled up and getting them to a side of an argument. It's hard to tell where the facts begin and the truths and like opinions start, because they're so intertwined and intermingled. And I think you see a lot of this in either or camps saying that sexism either does or doesn't exist, and people will give their own examples of why. And they discount other people's opinions or perceptions, and they only perceive what they're perceiving as right, as opposed to looking at all the arguments critically and understanding where everybody's coming from, saying, I can understand why someone might have that. Join the Discord server. Yeah, Dr. Ko, we actually have a... it's an app that you can download to your computer, and you can use it to chat with me and other members of the community outside of the live stream. So when I'm not live, that is the easiest way to get a hold of me, unless you are contacting me on Twitter. I have a Twitter account. I also have the Steam group that we use, but I only use I don't want to say I only use, but I predominantly use Discord as a means for communicating with everybody. You can private message people on there. You can talk in group chat with everybody in the lobby, in general conversation. There's also voice channels that you can use to chat with people live using voice chat, so you can do that too. All right, so we talked about why half-truths are a problem, and the armor specifically going over with the armored skeptic again. We're not denying that there aren't allegations of sexism or the objectification of women in the media. We're not denying that there are instances of harassment, and we're not denying that there are gender roles that are perpetuated oftentimes in the media. What we're denying that is it is a cultural systemic oppression of women, that there's some kind of grand major patriarchal scheme to kind of oppress women and keep them down. That's not what we want. I think most of the time it's very unintentional. I think the examples of what I've talked about in chat during the role-playing thing, about how things got